What do this cat sleeping in a restaurant and this man sleeping in a barber's chair have in common?
Well, other than the fact that they're both asleep, depending on where they are in New Jersey, they could also both be breaking the law.
If the barbershop is in Belford, New Jersey, and the restaurant is in the community of Batstow, although it's unclear how the cat would be taken into custody and read his rights. Nonetheless, they are just two of many antiquated laws that are still on the books in area municipalities. For example, while we're on the subject of sleep, it's okay for a horse to take a nap in Irma, New Jersey, as long as he isn't sleeping in a bathtub, which, according to a local ordinance, is illegal unless the rider is sleeping in the tub with him.
The kind of things that certainly seem odd, but occasionally these bizarre old laws can be seen to have served a legitimate purpose back in the 1800s when they were enacted.
Like the Philadelphia law, still in the books, that offers a $30 reward for the capture of horse rustlers.
Obviously, in 1889, they were having difficulty in apprehending rustlers.
Or the never-repealed Delaware law, which, in an attempt to control unlicensed carnivals from roaming the state, offered
a bounty on clowns. If you didn't get that license, there was a $30 bounty, accidental bounty.
But on a state level, there is another reason why strange laws occasionally end up being passed even today, and that is the tendency of elected officials to introduce any kind of bill to the legislature, if only to show the voters back home that they're busy doing something.
That's how the legislative process works all over the country, even in Congress. The bills are introduced frequently with no intention of ever passing, just to placate or satisfy a particular constituency.
For example, suppose you and some friends were so offended by people who slurp their soup in public restaurants that you actually went to your state legislator and demanded that something be done.
There's 25 of you. Well, the average politician says, geez, that's 25 people, his families, it's 100 votes.
More than enough reason to justify drawing up an official anti-soup slurping bill.
Now, what have I done? I've got your vote, and you represent a group that feels the same way. And so a bill's introduced. It goes nowhere. The bill goes nowhere. But sometimes those bills get through, and those are the goofy bills that we're talking about.
And indeed, a law was passed many years ago that made slurping your soup illegal in New Jersey restaurants. A law that possibly resulted from the thousands of sometimes frivolous bills that are introduced every session.
I mean, almost everyone designates the New Jersey 10-mile race as the official state race. I mean, you don't waste time with this nonsense, but that's the kind of stuff that gets through.
Tomorrow, as this special report continues, we'll look at why laws like this remain on the books once they get there, and also why you should never, ever try pawning a wooden leg in Delaware. This is Don Polec, Channel 6 Action News.